I got a question. You might can answer some.
I know, they can't, sir.
Just fix this.
Good this morning. But I just remember,
That's where they end from. I know Bronco got some.
And they first told me about that, they had that picture right there. Somebody.
he said, water line's supposed to be, I mean,
He's getting around, it ain't like that big bunch of sticks.
bars, if you got called bars. Just get name off the wish list where you are on the money.
I got a document on that.
Okay. You be passing out before we get started, put on our deal.
You can't get to it.
Would you call it? But it needs to be. But it needs to be.
I had a bunch more.
Yeah. Art, you ready? Okay. Y'all ready? I'd like to welcome everybody to the October 3rd CDG board meeting. At this time, we'll stand and Alderman Grubb from Ward 1 leads in prayer, and we'll follow by pledge of allegiance.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for the honor and privilege to meet here tonight. We thank you for all that you have done for us and our families, for our city. And we just pray, Lord, that you would bless our city and watch over us and everything that we say and do here tonight, that we would represent all of our constituents to the best of our ability. Pray these things in your name. Amen.
Face the flag. Attention, salute, pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, y'all may be seated.
All right. Only thing I got on the mayor's report, been working in energy, we're slowly converting the whole town to LED street lights out there. And if your area's already been covered, you're gonna know the difference. It looks really good. But you know, it's a deal where energy can't get the whole city in one time. We just gotta do it in parcels. We're getting a lot of it covered. And like I said, I haven't found anyone yet that complained about them. Okay, at this time to approve the agenda. Y'all any questions about the agenda? Make a motion to approve the agenda. Sandy, who has a second?
Second.
Patrick, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Work project committee reports, this is something we found this week and Alderman Brown can tell us about. On Fifth Avenue, when we get past the old elementary, they named it to Logan Street years ago. The signs are already there, but it is not recorded 911 that's been changed to Logan Street. It still shows Fifth Avenue. Do y'all want to need Patrick to tell y'all where it is to explain it? Y'all know? Y'all think y'all know where it is? So Mark, do we need to vote on that?
What are you doing?
We've got a street, a long time ago, Patrick thought, he said, I thought we'd already voted on it. But we got signs already up saying Logan Street. But 911's got recorded as Fifth Avenue.
Okay, so now.
We need to notify 911 to change.
Okay.
Does that require a vote?
Do we need an ordinance if we're changing a street name? Or just a minute entry?
Isn't that a proclamation?
Well, it's already been changed.
It was changed 20 years ago, but it never did get
Yeah,
changed.
Patrick said we voted on it 20 years ago, but 911 never got to it.
Alright, let's do it again.
Do it again, but all in favor of change that Fifth Avenue to
We need a
Logan
motion
Street.
and a second.
The motion,
That's
yeah.
usually the way we do it.
Yeah, motion. Who's got a motion?
Second.
All right, Patrick.
Second.
Sammy second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion
So now
carried.
who will be responsible for sending this to 911?
I'll call him in the morning. I'll call him.
That's Fifth Avenue Northeast.
Pretty much starts at the end of the elementary school, goes all the way to Sealands, right?
Well, no, just right there at the intersection, that's why.
Uh-huh.
From that point down to Northfield Drive.
North Hill Drive, okay. All right. Okay, and I think I told some of y'all, but no, we got approved the minutes down and, we approved the minutes. We get a motion on that, approve the minutes, last board meeting.
Approved the minutes from the last board meeting?
I think there's another,
There's two sections.
Karen, do you know of the other street that, wasn't mapped?
Penny.
Yeah.
So, yes, there's another street, it's Third Street, it's Third Avenue, sorry, and we actually went and drove that today. I did speak with Tina again today in 911, and she said that we should be careful, everyone should be careful before we change the name of anything, because all of the people who live on that street, all of their addresses individually have to be changed. Everywhere on their.
Why does Third Avenue be changed? It's got,
Well,
there's a street sign or what?
Ordinance 246 closed Third Avenue, and that was because the hospital asked for it to be closed. So that's been done since 2006.
And it doesn't cross, there's still a Third Avenue, it just doesn't cross
Yeah, it doesn't
the
cross
railroad.
railroad.
But the road's still there.
Except there's a problem because that is no longer Third Avenue, because that was closed, but it's on some maps called Warehouse Road. But Tina at 911 does not have a Warehouse Road and doesn't know where that name came from, and I don't know where that name came from, so I can't tell her that information. And it's also not technically the city's road, it's on Morgan Lewis's property, although city's been paving it, taking care of it and using it, so it's a little entangled.
Not the hospital, you're talking about the tennis court.
Yes.
Uh-huh,
Yeah, that's right there by the tennis court.
right.
Yeah,
behind it.
good. And we discussed that, I think that road's been there for, Mark, it was in there when we was in high school, you know what I'm talking about? You know.
David Dunn said it had been there at least 50 years, because he used to work at Wilmot Gas when he was in high school, and it's always been there.
Mhm.
So the road is there, I mean,
Wilmot Gas has a Third Street address, I believe.
Mhm.
Or Third Avenue. I'm
Third
sorry.
Avenue, which doesn't actually exist anymore. So if emergency vehicles had to go there, they wouldn't go there. There is no address, but that's the same one that they've been using all this time, and that's what Tina still has it there.
And the building on the Lewis property also has a Third Avenue address, 703 Third Avenue.
Mark, this is one I see.
The fire department is recognizing as Third Avenue, I believe it's Third Street.
Third Avenue.
Third Avenue, we've been recognizing as Third Avenue. Fire gas is there now. And it's still there, it's all Wilson Gas building, and it's the Third Avenue.
GPS shows it as Sixth Street that curves around and goes over.
Mayor, can you take it under advisement?
We'll take that under advisement.
And we'll,
Yeah, tomorrow I
we'll
send
have an
you a
answer
text.
by the next board meeting.
Next board meeting.
Okay, well, think about, what I just told Tina that I would relay this information about the Logan Street, not just that one, but any street. Because she said that, if any street name changes and we make a mistake and she corrects that, then all of the homeowners or businesses, anyone who's located there, each one of them would have to individually change their addresses. They would change because the street they live on changes with not only the post office, but with their insurance, home insurance companies. There's a lot of changing to be done. So she just asked that I convey that, so I was like.
The mail route is still Logan Street on Fifth Avenue. It was converted, the mail carrier is converted there.
Okay, so then she's the only one that needs to correct it.
So everything other than 911 has been converted to Logan Street. Postal address and insurance, because if the post office address changed, their insurance address changed.
Okay, well, the first was okay, the second we'll have to take it under advisement. All right, this time we need to approve the minutes.
Make a motion.
Sammy? Who's that, okay, Pat wants to look, hang on just a minute here.
That's both minutes.
Yeah.
We got two, sets of minutes, one from the September the 19th meeting and the September the 21st meeting.
All right, let's see, Sammy.
Motion to approve both the minutes.
That's typically how we do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sammy at first, then Sue, then you got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, approved claim document.
I have a question on page 4. It's got uniforms. There's 2 different sections. One for 298.17 and one for 338.86. Whose uniforms are those? Do we supply uniforms?
That percentile,
Yeah.
that's the city workers, Tim's.
Like Tim, like what Tim got on right now, that's the same.
I just didn't know, so
Okay.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all got any more questions?
I have one more.
Okay.
On the last page 8, there's a phone for Verizon Wireless for park and recreation.
That's
But
the-
there's a phone on the other page for C-Spire for parks and recreation.
That,
Why not two?
the Verizon is their little remote sign out there by the road, the scrolling sign.
Okay.
More questions, y'all? Let's see, we need a motion. Approve Patrick, second. Mark, second, all in favor? Aye. All right, claims document approved. All right, B is rezoning. Now, I told some of y'all, aldermen, this is not anything to do with zoning. What it is rezoning on the election. You know, we think y'all voted last time to go with Plan 4. And pretty much what Plan 4 did was put the Big Lane subdivision, move it from 2 to 3. So we need to have an ordinance drafted. You got it, Mark? You got it? Yeah. Okay.
Two together, and then pass it out. Y'all say, big enough for us to do that. That mine's yours.
Mine.
But this is the one that made it more even.
Right, that's right. And we approved the last board meeting, this guy have ordinance. So y'all need to look over there, y'all ready? Are y'all good with it? All right, we need motions to accept this ordinance.
Motion to adopt the ordinance.
The
yes.
adopt the ordinance.
Make a motion.
Sammy? Sue, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next is water rate increase. I told the local people, the church, and we've all discussed it. We had 200,000 in unexpected expenses on our water wells due to the big freeze we got back in the winter, and then we had a lightning strike. We had that, and we need, we're gonna have to go up on the water rates to recover this. When you pay a water bill, you actually pay water, garbage, and sewer at the same time. But all the other accounts look good, but this $200,000 debt has got our water account, and we've used most of that up, what we had. So y'all, I know we talked about this before. Y'all good with $10 increase on water? You know, Brett's briefed y'all on that. Brett Duncan briefed y'all on that. And Brett's CPA.
Isn't that what we approved in the budget?
You approved the budget, yeah, but we hadn't voted on it.
If we ever benchmark some of the other towns, cities, the size of Magee,
Well,
see the rates they're paying, I'm pretty sure they're paying more.
Yeah, Sammy, cause that's his right. What did you say, Smith Crossing paid? I know that.
The one that most of them are hired, the people I know that, they said they're paying as much for water as our water, sewage, and garbage put together.
So it should put us more in line with the rural areas.
Yeah, and I think we're in line.
We still will be low.
We're gonna be low.
Yes, it's going up, and
I mean, I don't know, I don't see any way around the shop, you know?
But if you look across state, we're the lowest, in the state, for the rates. I'll swing at it.
All right, Patrick has a motion.
second.
And this is to increase
Sammy said, with water rates,
The flat rate.
increase, so it's $10.
your flat rate, increase
Flat, yeah.
flat rate.
That'll
Yeah.
bring water, sewage, garbage, total $10, not just water.
It's gonna be attached to the water fund. The other accounts are in good shape.
But it's gonna, your water rate, is a percentage of your garbage, so it's gonna create an increase.
No, Brett said the $10 is total at water, garbage, and sewer, total, on a flat rate. So, if, you know,
My
you're not going up
understanding
$10
my
on water.
understanding is just on the water.
It's just
itself.
on water. It's
It's just on
increasing
water.
the flat rate of the water by $10.
Yes.
So it's,
Whatever it is
Your
now, you
rates
add
are
$10
tied
to
the
it.
garbage, I do know that, but the $10 could be just the flat rate, which we increase to 1%.
yeah, I think
Understand.
that's the way I understood.
Yeah, that's what.
Patrick has a motion.
Yes, sir.
Patrick has a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Marge, second. All in favor? Okay. And, one more comment on that. I've got Shane and Tim working on it. These apartment complexes that don't pay garbage bills, they choose to use a dumpster. And I've told them, I said, we're not gonna pick up their old furniture, because see, that garbage bill is what buys the grapple trucks and what buys the garbage trucks. So we're not picking up there, and Shane, you made a list, Andy. Shane's got a list here.
Yes.
These are all the dumpsters that people chose not to use garbage collection.
Yeah, the paper I stapled and laid up there for y'all, it's got, I think the second page has got a list of, I got with Miss Penny, and she sent me this of the apartments in town, all of them. Now the city of Mendenhall, me and the
We
mayor
called
spoke
this morning.
talked with Todd this morning, Todd Booth up there, and they just went to a $35 rate if they have to go pick up something somewhere that has a dumpster or something like
Yeah.
that. So, and that helps offset the cost that the city's paying at the dump up there at Weathersby and things like that. So, the mayor come to me after I got out of court this morning and asked me to look into this. And I apologize, I was going to get around today. We had like four fire calls today, or 4 or 5. So, and I'm going to get you a list of everywhere that has a dumpster in town that does not pay a garbage fee or anything. So, you'll be able to look at it, and you can try to, if it's something y'all want to consider, help offset some of y'all's costs and stuff. And, cause what it is me and Miss Penny especially has a lot, we're constantly talking to these apartments, cause people are dumping stuff, furniture, they clean one out and it gets thrown out there all the time. So, this might be a way if they're willing to pay a monthly fee or, so much every time the city was to pick up or whatever. So, that might help rectify that problem and stuff. But I just want to give y'all that. Mayor asked about it for y'all, something
What
y'all.
did
I
it
think it ought to
do?
be more than $35.
I mean, you're thinking,
It ought to be
yeah.
$100.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Cause they
up
put
to
it
y'all.
out there every week.
That's
It's
right.
a
Yes,
whole
ma'am.
pile.
So,
Well, we hadn't been picking it up because they don't
Yeah.
pay garbage.
but, that's something to bring to y'all's attention. Just something y'all might want to talk about, consider.
We'll address that next board meeting.
Table it and address it next board meeting.
And y'all, what he's gonna do is he's gonna get this printed list and he's gonna give it to him
Yep.
and the grapple truck and the garbage truck.
So they know
We're gonna
not to
put on
pick
the
up.
dash, they'll know where not to pick
Yeah.
up.
And we get a list together, I'll email it out to y'all so y'all have a full list.
Yeah, so if
So
they
you'll
call
have an
y'all, say
idea
my
of what-
furniture ain't been picked up,
Yeah.
ask them, say, you pay garbage bill? That's all you gotta ask them.
So you'll know roughly how many areas in town that you could look at and then, come up with a fee from there, so.
We don't have to vote on it, y'all
No,
go with
no.
that, that's the way
Yeah.
he and I's been doing it.
So,
And
yeah,
Tim, that's the way we've been doing it.
just trying, I know it's been a headache for y'all seeing it, and it's just as much a headache for us trying to run the managers down, because most of them don't live here. They're companies, and they have people that come up from other towns and stuff here once a week or whatever, so there's a lot of letters that get sent, phone calls, and they're just as aggravated with it as y'all are, so, but that's just that's our apartments and stuff, so that'll kind of give you an idea, rough idea, and then I'll email them, try to get a complete list by the end of the week, so.
And the why would take it up next board meeting, the way I address on the agenda, commercial garbage rates.
Exactly.
You're not hitting your residential.
No, it's commercial,
Commercial garbage.
that have dumpsters.
So we'll
That's-
take
that's
that
what the
next
mayor's
board
asked
meeting.
for, so.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, we have a Clearpoint engineer, Forrest, come up. Remember y'all developed a wish list, and this is our $1 million money that we got matched, but we did a wish list, and Forrest can give an update on everything.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mayor and Board. So I handed out a packet. It's got 4 pages, so we'll start with the first item. We opened bids last Tuesday for contract 2 of your MCWI project, which is part of the state's match with your ARPA money that you put up. So you put up around $1 million. They matched it 1-for-1, so we have just over $2 million grant. And so the first contract was replacing the media filter at water plant number 2, which has been completed and closed out. And at last board meeting, y'all approved to pay the final pay request to Red Oak for that. So that part is done. So this what we opened bids on last Tuesday is contract number 2, and it addresses some infrastructure needs at water plant number 1. And so when we put together this application, we included replacing the aerators, which are over 50 years old, and also addressing the control panel and some electrical things. As we got into the actual design of the project, we started peeling back the layers, and our scope increased a little bit to be able to address the infrastructure needs at the plant. To replace the aerators and replace the control panels, there was more that needed to be done after we got into design. So we got put that project out for bids last Tuesday. You can see on the first thing there is my letter of recommendation of award. If you flip over to the second page and fold it out, you'll see our what we call itemized bid tabulation. So we received 2 bids. We received 1 bid from Greenbrier Digging Service and 1 bid from Hip Hill Construction. So my engineer's estimate on the project for what we set up in our plans and specifications was $550,000 to $650,000. Our low bid, base bid, was $700,500. Alternate, and then so we set up as an alternate, which is in addition to the base bid, it's something that can be accepted if the board so chooses, to replace the two service pumps at plant 1. So as we got into looking at the plant and doing our design for the project, the service pumps are aged and showing signs of age. And basically what a service pump is it's the last step of the process of treatment. So it takes all the treated water and it pressurizes it and sends it out to the system and up to the elevated tank. So that's kind of the last step. So that's what alternate number 1 is. So Greenbrier Digging Service was the low bid. Hemp Hill Construction we had 2 competitive bids. So Phil, we got 2 good bids. So my recommendation, and we can discuss it further, Tim's welcome to give any input, but my recommendation would be that the board consider awarding the project to Greenbrier Digging Service with the base bid and alternate number 1, which would make the contract at a total amount of $787,500. So if y'all want to, I'll finish. We'll go on to this page 3 and 4, and then we can come back to that. It'll give you a little bit more, kind of a bird's eye view of our MCWI project. So on the 3rd page there, you'll see where I've done a project budget update. And I've tried to break it down as simple as I could in a digestible fashion. I know it may take some time for you guys to look over this, but you can see in blue at the top our total construction grant amount is just under $2 million, $1.87 million. And so far we've expended $215,000 of construction money, and that was in contract 1. You can see the amount there for contract 2 based on the bids we received. So you can see in shaded in red, if you move forward with awarding contract 2, that would be the total amount of funds obligated to construction to date for our MCWI project. In orange shows the grant construction funds remaining. So I know I just viewed a lot of information. So I'll give you all.
We got Ward 1 marked the bridge down there, Tim. Off my train of thought on Columbia Drive.
Right.
Now, how much was that?
That's not in there.
Yeah,
That's not in there. We need to look at that, and we've already given a PO, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not part of our scope on this project.
Okay, and we're gonna use other $1 million for that, okay.
So, there's 3 items left in the original scope of work, which I've listed out there under the orange. And that's the Lamar Road sewer extension, replacement of the water meters, and then the Head Start campus drainage improvements. So you can see there what our estimated costs to complete those items are. And just to I'll give you some idea about what our original estimate was when we did the application. So going from the first item, we estimated that the filter media replacement was going to be $250,000. So we came in a little bit under on that one. And contract 2 for the plant 1 improvements, our original estimate was $450,000. So as I discussed, our scope grew and our project cost. So that's an overview. I would recommend that the board put some consideration into what items to address with the remaining funds in our project. You can see there, we don't have the funds to address all 3 of those items based on our estimated cost. We did discuss doing half the meters, and that's what we put in our application. That cost right there would be for replacing all the water meters. And then the 4th page is something just for your review as well. That is our actual breakdown of the budget that was submitted with the application, and that is approved by MDQ state. So I know that was a lot of information. Are there any questions? The main thing that we need to have potential action on tonight would be the award of contract 2, the work of Plant 1 for consideration. I'll be glad to answer any questions or offer any clarity to any of that.
That's the water filtration.
Yeah, that'd be for for the aerators, new aerators, new service pump, new control panel, new electrical, wiring in the plant, and a few other pertinent things.
Everything's done on plant two, right?
Everything's
We're
done.
up to date, everything's good on plant
We
two.
replaced the media filters, they, to my knowledge, are working just as they should, and we're not aware of anything else that needs to be, addressed immediately there. So, Plant 2 is running, just great.
Tim, the only thing I'd like to say as far as here, I want the public to understand, that we just put a $10 rate increase on water for 200,000. That 200,000 was an emergency expense we had to get done. But this is just a planning deal that we gotta get done here. And I think if you keep up with Jackson, I don't think people have any problem with good drinking.
Certainly important to pay attention to your water infrastructure. We've all seen that.
Do we need to call a motion on the?
So the clearest place to see what we're saying, if you go back to the first page, that's my recommendation for award. If you look in the second paragraph, you'll see, you can read that, and that's the amount and who the contractor was, that was the low bidder.
So we need to go ahead and move
Make
on.
a motion.
on that tonight?
Bid, how much was the bid on, act on that?
$787,500.
Oh, good on that? All right, we need a motion on that.
Make a motion.
Mark,
Second.
Luana, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All right, thank you, board, and as you guys review the other information, if you have any questions, let me know. That is something that we need to come to a resolution on as a board as to what the next contract needs to be, that way we can continue our work. And I'll be glad to speak further to that. You have my number, you shoot me a call. So, thank y'all.
Thanks, Carl.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, before we move on any further, going back to the water, I was texting with Brett Duncan and asked him, I said, the $10 water increase is water, sewage, and garbage, total, not just water. And he said, that is correct. He said, it will only affect the total bill by $10.
That's right, totally, that's right.
What y'all was saying was it was a $10 increase in water, and then I think Patrick was understanding that the garbage and the sewer would go up, but it's total $10.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not a $10 water increase.
What I was trying to get clarification on, there's a water rate and there's a base rate and then there's a water usage rate. If you go over 100,000 gallons, your rate goes up on your sewer rate. So that's the clarification I was trying to, bring forth, so that's, we understand.
Okay. Public Works, Tim.
I got a couple of things. First off, you'll see there I got, 2 bids on the AC unit for the library. The AC unit is gone. They ain't working on, they have no air. So I need to try to get up, see if y'all approve to replace that unit.
Y'all, Tim's been patching this thing for about 2 years, I know.
It's finally shot. You got 2 bids, one for, 24,560 and 24,740. I recommend Parker Heating and Cooling, that's who we normally use on all our stuff. And they're real good at it, and they got the lower bid.
When they're ready for it, I'll make the motion, accept Parker.
Second.
All right, that's your motion, Mark, second. Any discussion? All in favor? All right.
Next one, you're gonna see, I got a 8-inch water line that we gotta get bored out of the way. Right now, I got a manhole that's falling over, it's in a creek bed, and the only way to fix that manhole is to bore that water line out of the way. If you see your pictures right there, the white pipe is the water line. It's actually laying across the top of the sewer line.
How far apart have they got to be, Tim?
They're supposed to be 10 foot apart. case that water line blows and the sewer line blows, well, then you got sewer and fresh water mixed together, that's a no-no. So I got to get that water line bored down.
Where's that located, Tim?
Right there by, on the frontage road, right down below Fun Time Liquor and Wine.
Fun time deal.
That
Yeah,
creek.
south side of there.
Okay, yeah.
I got 2 bids on that. Greenbrier 13,240 and Delta Bourne at 10,2.
I mean, we gotta do it.
Yeah, it's gotta be
You
done.
can't fix the problem until you get it done.
You gotta fix one problem, fix the other problem.
You're comfortable with either one of these, with Delta being the low bid?
Yeah, we used Delta before.
Okay.
They did a pretty good job.
I make a motion, I mean, we gotta do it, I make a motion that we do it.
Delta for 10-2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who has a second? Sue, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, what else you got, Tim?
I got 2 applications I want to introduce to you tonight. One is Mr. James Freeman. If you'll stand up and introduce yourself to him.
I'm James Freeman. I live out there in Martinsville. Right now, I work for Central County Road Crew. I drive a dump truck for them. I've been talking to Mr. Tim and everything about wanting to get moved closer down here. That way, I live 7 minutes from Magee. Live out there in Martinsville off Cole Road. And, you know, I'm running Traco. I got CDLs, Class Bs, air brakes.
Hey, I'm sorry, let me interrupt. We do not need to interview anybody on camera, that's breaking all kind of privacy laws. This needs to be done off of camera, it's not fair to him, and it's illegal, we can't do it.
I mean, if it's employing a particular person in a specific position, the board can go into an executive session and.
I think it's only fair to the applicant. If it was me, I wouldn't want to be standing up here in front of all these people and a camera. It's not fair to him.
That would be something that, say if we rejected the applicant, he wouldn't be open. That might be a way in which I understand what you're saying. Say if we rejected it.
Do an executive session.
Yeah.
Don't you have one, she was asked for executive session, some
Yeah,
personnel?
we gotta go in and take the session over.
So I guess we can get the employees in. Yeah.
That'll give our attorney also.
You guys stick around, okay?
That's all I can do.
All you got, all right, Police Department matters, Shane?
Requesting a executive session personnel.
Yeah, that's right, you got personnel, you got 2 tonight?
One tonight.
One tonight, okay, we'll do, other than that, you don't have no problem, do you?
No, sir, not at all.
All right, zoning, Penny?
First thing I want to do is give a great shout out to Tim Bray and Kara Lucas and John Stein for getting all of our, not everything done yet, but getting all the estimates together and the work done over here for the deputy clerks, painting, and the floors getting lined up, some ceiling tiles. Kara and I both gave a little whoop of joy when Tim was getting those ceiling tiles off the truck, made us real happy. So that's a lot of hard work behind the scenes, and it looks good, looks real good, so appreciate that a lot. Next thing is, I have a request here, and Karen and I have talked about this. We already have plugged into CMPDD, obviously, and CLG, Mississippi Department of Archives and History. We're plugged into those different sources for grants, but here's another one, because we're associate members of the Mississippi Main Street Association. So this one is a 1 day, so we wouldn't be staying overnight, it wouldn't be expensive. It's $50, but it's half off because we're already associate members. So it'd be $25 for me and $25 for Kara. Of course, we would drive down there and we would just stay for the day and then we'd drive back. So we wouldn't need any, and they provide all the food and everything, so we wouldn't need a bunch of stuff for that. And that's a real good price, $50 for 2 of us, real good. And that's because we're members already. So I would just ask that you consider letting us go. The deadline to enter or put our application in is October 2026. But as you can see, that's pretty close to the actual time, November 3rd, that the event's going on. So, you know, just as you consider that.
We have set aside, what, $7,500 for training for y'all. So all we need to do is, you got the money. Do we need to vote on it, or?
Being $50, I don't see a need for both of you, Mark.
It's in the budget for them for training.
I mean, you can authorize them to go just to be safe.
No,
Check the
okay,
break, but
all right,
I'm
let's
like-
just go ahead and vote on it.
Yeah.
I'm making
Sam,
a
we got
motion
the
that
motion?
Mark rides.
Second.
Lauren got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you, Board. And the other thing that I want to give you is, this, and this is, I know we don't have time to look at all this tonight, and that's fine, because this is sort of piggybacking on what Shane was talking about, the work that we've been doing, and you had expressed interest in having a rental ordinance. A lot of cities have this very same thing. Brandon has it, New Hebron has it, a lot of cities have it. Very much along these lines, because the Mississippi landlord, it's actually called the Landlord Act, the Landlord Tenant Act, yeah. So this kind of goes along with that, but it's basically just creating a registration, like a database of all of the rental properties. And I have also talked to some individuals here who have rental houses. And I know that they have the perspective that it's big government and they don't want us in their business. I understand that, and what I tried to say to that concern was, in this ordinance, it actually says that if a complex or a rental unit is fined for 2 years, then our building inspector, our fire marshal, or whoever's doing our inspecting can choose not to go see them. We don't have time to go, you know, check up on every single person. But these apartment complexes that are littering and having unsafe conditions for their tenants and having rodent problems and over and over and over and draining all of our resources, because we have to, like Shane said, we have to constantly contact them. I mean, daily we talk to one of them in some capacity. And you can go to the sites and see that it doesn't really make that much difference. So this would be a way, and of course, you know, we'll change it any way you want, or you can reject it completely, but I think it could help us alleviate some of those problems. You notice that it does apply to rental units, which would be single-family dwellings, manufactured homes, and complexes. But again, you know, this is the design here is not to go in and overstep in anybody's property. It's just, let's have some standards. Let's have some standards for, you know, taking care of the property values of all the people around that place. Let's have some standards for safety. Let's have some standards for fire safety. Let's be consistent, you know, and take care of everybody, and also conserve those resources. All right, the last thing I want to give you an update on is, as a result of our last zoning board hearing, which was for Morgan Lewis's request for rezoning of his property, no decision was reached there, and his hearing has been granted a continuance, and he is working with the zoning board on doing what they asked him to do. Next week, on Tuesday, we have a hearing on Magnolias on Main for a request for conditional use. So that's coming up, and if you want to know any more information about that, I'm very happy to answer anything about that. Anything? All right, thank you, Board.
Thank you.
All right, Jimmy, Parks and Rec.
Busy weekend, this past weekend. Saturday we had over 3,500 people in the park for MAIS. Everything went great. Yesterday we had over 2,500 people at the park. Shane came through 2 or 3 times, and it just all, other than parking, was rocked. But parking people was the headache of the day. We have 30 teams coming into town this weekend. I got over 40 next weekend. We're starting soccer Monday night, so Parks and Rec is just in full swing, trying to get everything set up for soccer and get those soccer fields lined off and everything, so be ready to go Monday night. These 2 tournaments is coming up, it's going to be another 2 big tournaments, Saturday and Sunday.
And we got to count on how many people signed up for soccer field.
I was right at about 103.
Any questions for Jimmy?
Also, we used about 37 hours of overtime with the employees I had to bring in to help.
Public Works, right?
Public Works and my guys.
Okay.
So about 37 hours of overtime with Saturday, all day Saturday, and we left about 9 o'clock last night after cleaning up, getting the trash out so the trash would be spread everywhere. We still got a little pickup to do.
Any more questions, Vaughn?
Thank you for all y'all do.
Thank you. Okay. Airport matters, Ashley.
She's out sick.
Ashley, sick.
She wanted me to let y'all know,
Okay.
Rebel Services was coming by this week. The guy stopped to change out that pipe, and he actually left the part at their shop. So now it's going to be next week before the guy gets back down here to have that changed out. She talked to I think it's the owner yesterday, I think it was, and but she just wanted to let y'all know where we were on that. We're just still waiting. We're kind of at their mercy on getting that done because they're the only ones around. So as soon as they put that in, the fuel system's up and going. So we're ready. We're just waiting on that one part.
So the fuel that's out there is still good.
Yes, sir. Well, we'll have to, I told John that, I think Ashley made that she'd have to order fuel because she's low, but the fuel's good. We're just waiting on that pipe to come in and they'll get inside there, swap it out, and then we'll be back good to go for that. And I think there's a crop dusting crew out there right now that's doing some, I don't know if they're fertilizing or putting some type of seed out. I hadn't went out there, but they've been out there yesterday and today. So.
Are there any questions on that for Okay. Thank you, Shane. Bill Inspector Kara.
So we're just doing just continuing to work with Newts. They're coming along very well. Still working with Legacy Church. They started doing some of their ironwork. And we've had to do several gas inspections. There's been a few gas leaks that we've worked with fire on, but that's about all that we've done.
Any questions for Kara? All right, thank you, Kara. All right, code enforcement again, Shane.
Board of that 2 papers I gave y'all stapled together. The front one is me and Ms. Penny met with Mr. Paul Arnold. We just wanted to give y'all an update on what we talked about the time we were there. Mr. Paul was also, he requested the letter. We give him a copy. I delivered it to his house myself. And he asked for 45 days, just due to he's actually been sick. That was one reason it took a couple of days even for me and him to get together. So I just wanted to give y'all an update on that from the last board meeting so y'all would know where we stand at on that right now.
What about that Chris, what's his last name? Grayson. Has he cleaned up that property yet? Did he pay his fine? I mean, is found guilty?
I do not know. Miss Penny wrote that
Second
citation.
right?
He was guilty. He was fined. I don't know if he's paid it.
How much is the fine?
He was fined $500 and he paid $100 of it, and then I went by today and he had 6 vehicles in the front yard along with a thing that looked like a bomb. It wasn't, but it's something that was kind of rusted, like a propane tank or something. And on a trailer, and then multiple golf carts, and then he kind of waved at us and we waved, and then he still has all the stacks of stuff in the back.
So what's his plan?
Well, that's where we're at. You know, the bad thing is we have to wait these time frames out. So our next would be a request a hearing on that property. There you go. So, and just know that when we request
I'm just asking, so I didn't know.
Yeah, no, you're fine. When we request it, then it'll be 30 days from the request before we'll have the hearing. So roughly, we're looking November, December range before the hearing. Just kind of gives you a time frame on where we would be on that. So now that the new budget started, I'll start the cleanup on the ones y'all already approved too. So.
We can also charge him, according to our zoning ordinance, every day can be a separate offense if we chose to go that route. So it'd be $100 more per day.
And then that was also the judge told, requested that too, so he said that's one of your options, so. But that's where we are on it, and it'll get, like I said, we can, me and Ms. King will work on it. Next board meeting, we'll be at that point, you know, if he's still doing what he's doing, we'll request a hearing from, come in front of y'all then, so.
Is there any more questions for Shane? Okay, thank you, Shane. Fire Department, Charlie.
Good evening, board. First of all, let me give a thank you to you all for a generous budget. I know we're under the new fiscal year now, so thank you. We'll be good stewards of the taxpayers' money, I promise you that. So, the fire department ran a total of 50 calls for the past month. Together with the last 2 months, that's almost 100 calls, from which our normal month is about 22, if I can recall the numbers straight. So 22 a month. And so we've had a tremendous increase. So, and we just wanted to give you the update on that and let you digest that for a little bit, how busy we've been. One of the projects that I want to mention, with the zoning and building and fire marshals, I've been meeting on a regular basis to try to deal with projects that are of concern to us in some way or fashion from each department. One of the projects that's come to mind is a building across the street that has a collapsed wall in the back in the alley. We're working on that. Kara, the building official, and I went around there and said it's unsafe for human habitation right now. We made barricades around it. We have access to the owner of the building. We'll make official contact with the owner and ask what their plans are for the building and see, we'll go from there. So I wanted to give you an update because a few of you have asked about that building. So that is one of the ones that we are in the process of working with now.
Did you say you had talked to the owner, or you're in the process?
I'm in the process of it. I do have access to the information, so I can get in touch with them shortly. So I will do that. The notes that I have provided you all point to the weather again. And you can see that the highlights are we're going to have continued drought, little chance of rain. We may get a taste of fall over the next week, some lower temperatures, higher winds, lower humidity. So look at, you see the drought situation on the second page. It's gotten worse since we met last time. You can see the next page is prediction for rain in the next 7 days. It doesn't look very well for us in this area. The 2-week hazard assessment shows the following page that the higher you are on that chart, the more likely it is to occur. Well, you can see fire weather's at the very top of the chart and everything else at the very bottom. So we're not in good shape. There's an elevated wildfire danger through tomorrow. And I think they just misprinted because Thursday and Friday are not here, unless they may be anticipating some higher humidity and some rain chances on Thursday and Friday. But the next page suggests that Saturday and Sunday is coming back again. So we wanted to just highlight those there. In relationship to the weather, tomorrow, I just got notified at 4 o'clock this evening that tomorrow is Tornado Awareness Day for the fall season. And they wanted to do a statewide tornado drill at 9:30 in the morning. However, I talked to the county emergency management. None of us were aware of it. And we don't know the actions they're asking us to do. Usually they want us to sound a siren, but we haven't had a chance to alert the public that there would be another, our normal day is the first day of the month at 12 noon. They anticipate that. If we start blowing a siren in the middle of the day right now, without having notifying the schools, without having notifying the high care
Which we blew them yesterday at noon.
Yeah, right. We blew them Sunday, right. Sunday was the day.
Sunday, yeah.
So anyway, they were working, and that's. So I don't see a need for it. I've talked with the police chief. I've talked with the county EMA. So we would respectfully request that we don't blow the sirens, but the local newspapers and just kind of bring it to our attention. It's a severe weather awareness day, The only other thing that I have for request is a brief moment in the executive session to give you an update from the last time we met.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie.
I'm sorry, did you have anything else from me?
Yeah, the staff here, you and I have been discussing it. One more thing I need to bring about y'all. We've got a fire truck that's declared surplus, and Charlie and them had it listed for $65,000. The Magee mayor called me last week, and they need one. He said, Dale, we can afford $50,000, we can afford $65,000. And Charlie said, it's y'all's trouble, whatever y'all want to do. And the Magee mayor had a good point. He said, we Magee people spend our money in Magee, you know that, don't you? And then Charlie said that when they're on the east side, said that y'all have to call Magee that sometime, y'all work together.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to y'all is, are y'all good with selling this truck to Magee for $50,000?
Yes.
Yes.
We need to vote on that, okay?
Make a motion.
I'm Sammy, Luana, second. All in favor?
Uh-huh.
All right, I'll call their mayor tomorrow
That's fine.
and see, yeah.
All right. And did we get, I've been so busy, we did get I think I left the package on
You
your
did,
desk.
it's
Okay.
on my desk.
Good
And
deal.
then, you know, I called him after you and I talked.
Right.
I called him and said, come up here and let you get test drive, show you how everything works, you know?
Well, we have a great working relationship with Magee, the fire department, everything, great working relationship, so.
Like that, I said that here, so we spent our money with Magee. I said, I don't argue that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. IT matters, Austin.
Don't have anything.
Austin didn't have anything. Okay. All right. All right, all these executive sessions, who's first?
Well, let's just move to close the meeting.
All right, close the meeting. That's right, I got to close the meeting. Who wants?
And I'll get with John on all statutory.
I got something I need to say, and then I'll be out of here.
Ask the attorney.
Well,
He's probably on the
You
agenda.
know, Magee people, we spend a lot of our money in Magee too.
right, well.
I got here late
If it's
because I was
a
having
board
to take care
matter
of something for y'all.
meeting, you'll need to call City Hall and get on the agenda before the meeting.
Man, I'm here
It's a
now.
procedure
Just let me,
that
I got,
our board
just give me
follows.
5 minutes, I'll be out.
Yeah. And we did, yeah, and the board had a reason for adopting that, to provide some order in our meetings, so.
Well, I mean, I've been trying to get up with somebody from City Hall. since
Yeah, Brock, you
Friday.
called me today. I said I'd get back with you if I get tied up.
Yeah, I know, I mean, I would've been
I'll
here
call
earlier.
you. I promise you, I'll call you tomorrow. You're
Well, I
right.
done got all my dogs gone. All my dogs been taken care of. I want the 2 running around
they're
with
not
my
our
dog.
dogs.
They wasn't ever my dogs to begin
We
with.
just put them on the teethers.
I just
because
put 'em on
there's too
chains
many
that really
dogs.
turn
I'll call you tomorrow. Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow.
Well, stop it,
Yeah, I'll
Sammy.
probably-
You got more you need to stop too over there, cuz.
Yeah.
You don't need to be worried about me.
Brock, you want me to call you your landline or your cell number?
It don't matter.
Okay.
Well, I'll be fine.
All right.
Okay, bud.
Move to close the meeting.
Motion to close the meeting.
Motion.
The Luana. You have a second?
Second.
Mark, second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.